starting with the sound, and then the image. Hello, everyone. How are you doing, Mama?
I'm doing all right. How are you this evening?
Doing well. Have you been up to anything fun and exciting since last time?
No.
So last time was 2 weeks ago, because I helped with our primary on Tuesday. Unfortunately, the candidate that I was rooting for didn't win, so I'm a little upset about that, but I'll get over it. There are a bunch of other things that are pretty exciting about local candidates, so hopefully I can help with their stuff. I've been helping with a group called Progressive Victory, so they're pretty cool. I recommend people check them out. Aside from that, haven't been up to anything else super exciting. So, with that, I'm ready to get started if you are.
Yep.
Excuse me. First puzzle for today. I do see Chip Sounder is in chat. Hey, Chip Sounder. You also sent a message earlier. Although I don't see it on my phone anymore, so that's weird. Oh. With that, let's get started. So our first puzzle for today is going to be copy and paste. Freedom and Truth by Chip Sounder. Normal Sudoku rules apply. Place the digits 1 through 9 once each in every row column in 3x3 box. Digits along an arrow sum to the total given in the connected circle. Digits may repeat if other rules allow. Digits along a blue line must not repeat a digit, and digits in a dotted cage sum to the total given in the top left corner of the cage. Cells separated by a black dot has one digit double the other, a 1:2 ratio, and there are no negative constraints. So let's get started. Well, we've got 1 and 3 here on the 4. Well, this is minimum 2, 3, so that's 5. Another 2 and a 1 would make that 8 or 9. I can go up to a 4, or I can go up to a 3 or a 2. Hmm. $19 in 5 leaves what? 26 in the remaining 4? Oh, well, there's 3 in a row here, so this is minimum 6. We go 1, 2, 3 going across. Is it possible that this does not have a 1 on it? Well, no, I know that for certain, because if this was a 2, then so would that have to be. So this is definitely a 1. And if this was a 4, that would be a pair of 2s, because 4 and 1 is 5, and 2 more, so this can't be a 4. Whatever those two are, they have to be the same. Which, could they be a pair of 3s? That would be 6, 7, 8, and 9 would be with a 2 there, so yeah, that's possible. We just know that these cannot be 3 different numbers, Because if they were 3 different numbers, their minimum would be
9.
9 collectively, plus 1 more for 10, which isn't going to work. Well, we've got 1 as one of those two. I know it has to be in the 19. Well, this is minimum 6. Because these two can't have a 1, and they cannot be a 2-3 pair, because that would break this one. So 2-4 is the minimum that they can be. Now, one of these 3 has to be a 2. And it's either both of these or this one. So that means this one cannot be a 2. Because one of those 2 is a 2. What am I missing? Oh, I got that backwards. Normal Sudoku rules. Arrow. No. Digits along a blue line must not repeat. And digits in a dotted cage sum to the total given in the top left corner, and then a black dot. There's no negative constraints otherwise. So what am I missing? Well, 13 is minimum 4. So 1, 2, and 3 is all located within this block. So this is going to go 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If those were a pair of 3s, that would have to be 2 and 7. If that's a pair of 2s, then you'd have 3 and 6. Well, I guess that means... Well, I was just assuming that that's a 9, but I don't know why I made that decision. Because if these are a pair of 3s... Just realized my phone audio is on. If this is a pair of 3s, then you have a 2 here, and a 2 there, but 2 3s is 6, plus 2 more is 8, and 1 is 9, so then this would not be 9. So it could be anything. It would be 4, 5, or 6, pairing with 2. Laura Smith says 1 in box 6 is in row 4. That's very true. Unfortunately, I don't get much more than that. How are you doing this evening, Laura Smith? It's 11. Well, this 11 can't have a 2 in it, which means it has to have a 1. Because 3, 4, and 5 is 12. Okay. So then I have to have a 1 up here in this group.
Ew.
Temps of 108 is definitely the opposite of good. I would not find that very pleasant.
Now that was why the ew.
Yeah. I also need a 3 or a 4 in here. Along with 6 or 7. If this is a 4, those are 2s. And if these are 3s, that's a 2. Yeah, Arizona is not a place that I would want to be with the current temperatures that are going to be happening. Chip Sounder says the computer solver found no logical steps. This is definitely a unique puzzle, the logical solve path. So we're gonna stick with it. I know a 2 is on one of these. And if those are 2s, this could be 3 or 4. I guess what that just means is that 3 or 4 is located in this group. I'm not sure what else that means for the rest of things. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8. And 9. Well, that means I have to have 6 or 7 on here. Or no, I don't. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I need something from 4 through 9 here. Okay, well that wasn't helpful.
Row 4 has a virtual 6, 7, 8, 9 quad. No, it doesn't. Never mind. Because that could be 4, 9, and 8, and 6 or 7. Okay, never mind. I was wrong.
There is definitely something interesting going on with that, though.
Although if it's 4, if the 13 is a 4, 9.
This would be 8. So this would have to be 6 or 7.
It can't be 6, because 6 would have to be 2, 4. If that's 6, then the 13 has to be 5, 8. Because 6 can't be 1, 5. It has to be 2, 4.
And then you said 5, 8.
Yeah.
So this would be a 9. This
Goes
would have
to
to be
a
a pair
3.
of 3s. Which is 6,
6, 7. That's
8,
a
9.
2.
And then this would be 1, 4, and 6. We'd have another 2 over here. And 3. Which would make this 1, 2, or 3. I don't think 6 is broken. Laura Smith says, not sure if this was already mentioned, but 1 9 in 5 needs a 1. Yes, we do need to have a 1 in the 19. Now it can't be here, but if it's in this group, I'm not sure where we can go with that information just yet. What if we just start by assuming this is an 8? If I have 2's here, that's 5. 5 here. 6, 7, 8 is a 3. Laura Smith says we also need 1 on that diagonal. So it's in box 3 or box 7. And if it's in box 7, it's here. But yeah, we do need the 1 to be one of those 3 or this one. Now I would need to have a 3 in this group. And that 3 would have to go here. And then I would end up with 1, 2, 3 here. Okay. I have to have 1, 2, and 3 in this group. But can I have 3 up here? Maybe a pair of 2's and a 4. And that would make this a 9. Yeah, 2 2's and a 3 is the minimum to make 8. Any other combination makes 9. But if I have the 3 up here, then I would have 1 and 2. Well, I already know I have 1 and 2 up here. Because I have 2 1s, force a 1 up here. And then my 2 in this group and in that group. Because of this. And 13. Okay, so if I have a 9 here, and I want to put 3's as one of those 2, then if 5, 6, 7, well, I can't do 2 and 4, so this would have to be 7, 8, 9. And I have to have 7, 8, 9 from one of these, and 8 or 9 here. I don't think I want to hint just yet, but I might ask for one in like 5 minutes. So if this is 7, 8, 9, well, I have to have 3 on here anyway. I already knew that I had to have 3 on here. Okay, so this is 3, 4, 3, 5, or 3, 6. Which is fine, I just don't know if that does anything for me. Well, this 11 limits what this column here can be. None of them can be 1. None of them can be 2, or 3 or 4.
The tip of that arrow cannot be 9, 8, or 7.
And if that's 5 or 6, this can't be. So this has to be 1, 2, 3, I think. Because I can't have 4 with 5 or 6. So yeah. And since there's no 4, I need to have a 1. Because the only way I can go without a 1 is 2, 3, and 4. Got a 2, 3 pair. That's not enough information just yet. The only way to make 8 is with 2 and 5. But if this is a 2, those are 3s, and that ends up being a 9. If this is a 3, that's a 5, and that ends up being a 9. These being 2s means this is still 3 or 4, so this can still be 8 or 9. But that just means that this cannot be 9. So we can take 7 out. And we can take 6 out. Okay. I still have this dot. Although I don't think it's useful, because the only thing that's removed from it is 1, 5, 7, and 9. I either have 2, 4, 4, 8, or 3, 6. I've made some progress, though. How do I keep making progress? Well, whatever this is, it's going to have to be in the 13. So whatever these are, they are different. So if that's red, then red ends up being in here. So then this would end up being blue, because it's going to have to be one of those two.
Right, and 6, 7 comes off of the 13.
And now this can't be 8. Laura Smith says, I think something either forces or breaks the cage in box 4. There are a lot of arrow cells around it. There definitely are a lot of arrow cells around it. I think this one was really important. But now knowing that these two are different, I can take 8 and 9 out of here. I couldn't put 8 or 9 in the 11, so these have to be red-blue. And since this one sees red, that's how those end up being. This is either
No longer
3,
have
7,
6 on the arrow in box 4.
Why is 6 removed from... Oh,
On the arrow.
Arrow, excuse me. And 5 is removed from the top half.
Right.
5 and 2 make 7. 4 and 3 make 7. So that's still allowed. We are much more limited now. But I have to have 4 or 5. If I didn't have 4 or 5, it would have to be a 2 over a 3, which wouldn't work. So this does not have 4 or 5 on it.
And that's a 6, 7, 8, 9 quad in the column.
9, 4, 5. Okay, so this one is that one. Those two are the same. So this is
Purple
lime
and
green
green.
and purple. Okay. I think Chip Sounder really wants us to use set equivalence theory with rows 2 and 3 and 4 versus columns 2, 3, and 4 in the max-min relationship. I can definitely see that one, because we've got the arrows here and here, along with the 11, and this one. Could I put a 4 here? Yeah, I could, because that would just be a 3 there, if I put 2 2s. Yeah, because whatever this one is, it's going to end up being here in the row. Unless it's there. Does this have to be that one? I guess not. Okay. We got a lot of progress, so now let's look at the set. We've got red.
Before you do that, I'm
okay.
Okay, if those the 2, 3 on the arrow that have to be the same, right?
Mm.
Okay, if they're 2, then 2 comes off of the arrow in box 4, which would have to be 3, 4 for 7, right?
Yeah.
If they're both 3, 3 comes off, and it would have to be, well, it would be either 2, 4 or 2, 5.
2,
Never
5.
mind. But either way, there has to be a 4.
2, 5.
Right? Did I see that right? Oh, right, 2, 5. Yeah, never mind. Sorry.
Okay. So, looking at the two sets, So the way set equivalence theory works is you take two groups and you identify them as being equal. In this case, 3 columns and 3 rows have to be identical because the 3 columns and the 3 rows sum to the same amount. So since these two sets are equivalent, anything that is in both sets can be removed without affecting the equivalence of the sets. So anything that was in both of them can be safely removed. Now, in the case here, this circle and these 3 arrows, or these 3 arrow cells, their sums are equivalent. So right now we're just focusing on the sums of the two sets. I can do that with this arrow and this arrow as well. And what that's going to give me is that this red group right here and this blue group up here, including this 4-5 cell, are summarily equivalent. Now, I know exactly how much this group is. We've got 45 minus 6 gives us 39, plus 11 should put us at 50. So we know for certain that the blue group is 50. If I take out 19, then everything else that's left is
31.
You said 31?
Uh-huh.
I said at the same time, so my ears weren't working. So we've got 31 left over. The minimum in this row is
21.
And because the minimum you can put in 6 cells is 21. Add an extra 10 on top, and we know that this has to be 1 through 4. We don't have a 1 here, but 4 and 9 get removed, and we have a 5, 8. So that's going to be a 9, 6 or 7. We know this one has to be different, so that's going to give us those. 8 has to be a 2 and a 5, so that gives us 3s and a 2. This must now be well, that has to be a 2, but it can be 4 or 5 gives us a 4. So this ends up being a 6. 7 is placed there, 4 there. And we get the digits 1 through 3 there. 1, 2, and 3 here. 4 and 5 to get all of that situated. And then we can remove our sets. 19, that doesn't have a 9 or an 8. What else is missing? I don't think anything else is missing. 3, which isn't here. 6, 7, and
9.
The 9s aren't these two, and these two aren't 7. Got 4, which isn't here because of that one. 5 can be any of them. So can 6 and 7 and 8 and 9. So maybe that's not worth putting on there. This one we know is 1, 4, and 6. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and say that's not worth placing. Ah, 1, 2, and 4 is all removed from this dot. So this has to be 3, 6 now. 7, 8, 9. 7 here. 8, 9 pair there. Laura Smith says the 2 on the diagonal is now in box 9 because of this 2 and that 2, which removes it from this group of diagonals. And then this 2 removes it from here, so it's one of these two. What's left over in here? 5, 6, and 8. $19. Well, we can't have both 6 and 7. That would break this cell. So this group summation is not allowed. But now I have to have a 6 or a 7. Or I also have to have 4 and 5. But since I have to have 6 or 7, this is a 3. Because the 6 or 7 that's in the 19 pairs with the 6 or 7 here, removing 6 as a possibility, placing 3, taking 3 out of this one. Chip Sounder says row 3, column 2, can't be 5 or 6? I already knew it couldn't be a 5. It can't be a 6. Laura Smith says 11 in 2 cells, without 1, 2, 3, or 4, has to be 5 and 6. So then that's 4, 7, 8, 9. The 4 isn't here. You can't have the 4 if you've got 5 or 6 this one. Chip Sounder said because of the minimum set. Right. This was 1 through 6 all the way across here. I did forget to take that into account. We get 6 out of column or row 3. So 6, 9, 7.
The 5, 6 for the 11 cage in row 6 does more work.
And 8. This can go all the way up to the 4. Can't be a 2. Laura Smith said that gives us an 8 in row 6. What? 8 and 9 here.
The diagonal in box 9, 2, 5, 6, and 8 are the possibilities.
Between 6 and 9. 5 and 7 is removed, and so is 1 and 4. So this one's a 2. That's not a 4. Laura Smith confirms the options on that one. 1, 4, 3, 6. Well, 1 and 4 gets removed from this one, so 3 and 6 gets removed from this one. Then the 3, 6 pair looks at this. 5 and 6. And we know what these are. 2, 3, and
5.
And these are 7, 8, 9. Top isn't a 2. We get 6 removed from all of these, and we know exactly what those are now. Well, 4 is in these two. 5 is in everything. Say again?
No, I saw something wrong. So I stopped myself, but I didn't stop it before I started.
Happens.
Row 3, column 7
Right here.
is going to be a 1 or a 3 because it sees 2, 4, 6, and 5, 7, 8, 9. That's a 1, 3 pair on the diagonal.
Takes 1 out of this one. Also means this one isn't 1 or 3. One, 3, 2, 5, and 8. Nothing else particularly helpful. One, 2, 3, 4, and 6. Whatever those two are, it's going to have to be this one. 1, 2, 3. And now we get a triple. Because whatever those two are, it has to be down here, but neither of those can be 1, 2, or 3. Gives us, alright, so that gives us the 1, 2, 3. This isn't a 1, but more importantly, this ends up being a 6. Remove 4, remove 8. This is an 8, those aren't. This isn't a 6, these aren't. Oh, those aren't 8. 5 gets removed from here. Move the highlighting on this 1, 2, 3 triple. Now, if these two are that one, then this one is that one, removing 2. Now this one is that one, and it's that one, which means it's also this one. Laura Smith says 5, 7, pair on the diagonal. It's going to take 5 out of this one. Blue is here. This one's green.
Well, where can the last of the 1, 2, 3 go in box 3?
So I need to know where green is. Well, it has to be one of these two. So then green has to also be one of these 3. Blue, green. Blue, green. Yeah. Ah. Oh no, I don't have a 3. So that doesn't require one of those two. Okay. We'll remove the coloring, at least from these. Where can 9 go in this box? One of these 4. Now this 8-9 pair here looks at this one, so this isn't a 9. But that still leaves 3 spots for that. The other thing to look at is this 5-7 pair, which looks at this cell. So what's in here? 2, 6, 8, 5, which we know from here, but we can also, because of these two, remove 7. Chip Sounder says column 9 needs a 6 because of these two here. So it's one of these 3. Well, that isn't, and that isn't, so that is. That's not a 6. Let's fill in this one. 6 and 8 are both removed. 7-9 pair in box 6. Leaving 4 and 8.
Row 9, column 8 cannot be 1 or 3 because it sees red in the column and the other of 1, 3 in the row.
Oh. Well, it can still be it. Except it can't be 2 or 5 either because of the 2-5 pair.
Yeah, I forgot about that part.
And blue cannot be a 2 because of the 2-5 pair. Which means green is 2.
Okay, then where does green go in box 3? Because we now know green is 2.
So it's here. 7, 5, 7, 2, 5, 9, 4, not 9, not 4, not 4, not 9.
7, 9,
pair.
yeah. 1 6 pair in that 11 cage.
Yeah. A short story about hope. The post came. Please open the envelope. Inside is a message. Regardless of what most people say, I refuse to make people pay. All of my work is for free. Please don't judge and reject me. I learned I can stop being phony, fraudulent, or fake, because I'm no longer lonely in admitting my mistakes. Now for the next and many more puzzling adventures, may our problems go away with these kind of gestures. We spend most of our lives blinded by a scotoma. Lift the veil and life is no longer like a coma. Now I understand our behavior. We can all be our own saviors. Honesty wins the game eventually. Logic, light, and truth saves reality. Awesome days are yet to come. Glad you enjoyed. Thanks for playing. That was a good puzzle. I definitely wish I had looked for the set equivalence theory sooner. It's definitely one of those tools I leave in my toolbox a little bit too long. What is a scotoma? According to Wikipedia, it is an area of partial alteration in the field of vision, consisting of a partially diminished or entirely degenerated visual acuity that is surrounded by a field of normal or relatively well-preserved vision. Okay. That makes sense. All right. All right. We are done with that puzzle. On to puzzle number 2 for today. Copy and paste. We are back in the swing of things by Chip Sounder. Normal Sudoku rules apply. Place digits 1 through 9 once each in every row column and 3x3 box. Digits along a bold gray line must read the same thing forwards as backwards. Clues outside the grid give the sum of the digits along the indicated diagonal, and digits may repeat if other rules allow. Digits in a dotted cage without repeat sum to the total in the top leftmost cell cage. Excuse me, I read that weirdly. Digits in a dotted cage without repeat sum to the total in the top leftmost cell of the cage if given. Cells with a gray highlighted square is even parity. Cells separated by a black dot has one digit double the other, a 1:2 ratio, and cells separated by a white dot are consecutive. There are no negative constraints. All right. Let's get started. I did not hit enter. Link to the puzzle if you'd like to give it a go. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We don't include this one. We've got 4 here, 2 more here, and 3 there. 2, 3, and 4 is 9.
There's a 5 cage in box 5.
There is 1, 2, 3, and 4. Which means this isn't 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Laura Smith says it is also not 2, 4, which I definitely
This is
overlooked
true.
as well. So that means it's 4, 8, or 3, 6. Which gives us our 3, 4 pair across the row.
Well, and since that's part of a palindrome,
These two are the same. Does that look at this 13? 4 and 8 would still allow for 6 and 7. Is the shape of this important? Although I do wonder, looking at these palindromes, they're kind of lined up. And if I take a look at the sets that are overlapping, we can take out anything that's in both groups. The two sets are still equivalent, right? Two columns is equal to 2 rows. Their intersections can just be removed, and the remainder is still equivalent. The palindromes, we know, are identical on both of their arms, so we can take both of those out and keep our set equivalence going. We do that in all of the places.
Well, that little red one
leaves
all by itself is an 8. No, it's not, because there's a blue one down at the bottom.
Yeah.
I didn't see the blue at the bottom.
8 plus whatever this is. That means this is 1 or 2.
Well, red and blue. Oh, no. Okay, never mind.
Yeah. If this was an 8, then that would be 13. But we need this one, which means we need to add a 1 to make 9, as Laura Smith helps confirm. I don't know why my brain has not been functioning at all today. I was playing Rocket League earlier, and not playing well at all. I think I won like 3 out of like 10 games.
Well, that 18 little killer is now kind of...
It's 8 across the remainder here.
Right. And
which
3,
6, 7.
So that's a 1 or a 2.
We've got 1s in both of these groups. Well, and that makes this 8 or 9.
No, 7 or 8.
Yep. 1 and 9 makes 9.
And around the palindrome.
Well, now we know. No, we don't. I was about to say we had to have an 8 here, but 7 and 3, 6 doesn't just make 8.
Now, does that give us a 1, 2, 3, 4 virtual quad in that row?
It definitely does.
Okay.
Because over here, we have to have 1 of 3 and 4, and then these are the rest from 1 through 4. So these wrap around. Okay, well, there's another piece of set equivalence theory that we can do real quick. And if I look at, let's say, these 4 columns, actually I can remove my red and blue coloring. So let's look at these 4 columns here and make them red. And if I look at these 2 rows and these 2 boxes, then 2 boxes and 2 rows is equivalent to 4 columns. And we can take out the overlap. And that means that this group here is identical to this group here.
Well, and there's a 9 cage, or a cage that includes 9, which would remove the box.
And that was just their that was all identical digits. So we still have identical digits in this set and in the blue set. Now, we know, because this is a palindrome, that whatever the sum of these three is, it's going to be the same as this sum. So that is 2 times whatever those sums are, which is even. 12 and 16 is even, and this square is indicated as even, which means that this has to be a 2. It's going to give me a pair of 7s. And that 2 means I now have 12 in the diagonal. Give me 6 more, and that will be 18. And my 1s are going to line up here. That should be 18 along that diagonal, which it is.
Blue is minimum 29, which means the
Has to be
palindrome.
even.
Okay.
But that just
So
means makes it
minimum
up to 30,
30.
right? And I'm at 16, and either 18 or 24. 18 and 16 is just gonna grab a calculator.
34?
I can do it in my head, but 34. And we said that the minimum was 30, right?
Uh-huh.
So 6. And if I did, and that was 16 plus 12 plus 12 would be 40. Oh, wait a second. I already have 16. Let me just remove that and remove that. And if this is 12 and 6,
Well, if for the...
but I can't put another 12 here.
Right.
So this has to be
3 6s. And that's a 9. So wouldn't that be 9? No. 6. My brain is not working right, obviously. You're
we're
right, the
all
6
fuzzy
was right.
today.
Okay, well the 6 in column 5 has to go in that 16 cage. And it has to be in box 5.
All right, well, that's my 2 6s. I still need a 3 and a pair of 7s.
Okay,
Well,
oh, I was going to say, in column 6, that's the 4, 5, 8, 9, but it can't be 9 because of the 9 can't be on the palindrome. So the 9 has to be in the 13.
3, 7, and 2. All right.
And in row 6, the 3, 6, yeah.
5, 8, 9, and 1. 6 pairs with 3.
Well, if you look at the
4
other
pairs with
tip
5.
of that palindrome, is a 3 or 7, so.
Can't be a pair of 6s, so that's 2, that's 7. 2, 7, 7, and 1, 2, 4, 1. Laura Smith says column 3 palindrome. I've also got 3, 4, 6 here. But I think Laura Smith was pointing out this one as well to confirm that one. 2, 3, and 7 takes 3's out. So now we've got this one confirmed as well. We still need a 1. Just going to finish these. He's gone from here. 4, 9, 6, 2, 7, and 1. 3, 5, or 8 all works there. But I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Although that didn't add anything to our knowledge. 14 in this diagonal. I already have 8, so I need 6 more. So that's going to have to be 4 and 2. 6, 4, 6. 2 is gone. 3 and 6 is placed here. A 3 and a 7. 7 and a 9. 3s. This is a 5, 8 pair to combine with those. I still need, what, 4 and 9?
4. Yeah.
Well, 1, 2, and 3 by method of 6 means this is a 4, 8 pair. And we either have 3 or 5 or 7 or 9. 7's removed as a possibility by this 7 here. 4, 8 is going to remove 8's from here, placing it there. So
5,
5 and
9.
9. 3, 4, 8. 5, 5, 5. Pair of 9's. A 9, a 4. 3 is 6. An 8 here. 2.
The palindrome. Sorry.
3, 6. No, no worries. So 2, 3, 4, 5. I still need a 6. And then I still need a 7. So 6 is here. It's not there. 1, 2, 3, 4. I need a 5. 6, 7. 8, and 9. Four, 5, 8.
9.
There we go. And none of these are 9, so that's not a 4. Okay, well, those two are the same. That's not that helpful. So, I did the 2 smaller little killers. What about the major diagonal? I need it to be 44. And I already have 3,
19.
12, 19. A pair of 5s would be 29. 2 Why can't I do basic addition? 3 and 9.
Well, there's 25
4
left.
and 3, plus 5 and 5 plus 2 is 31. Which means I would need 13 if I did 2 5s and a 2. 13, 4, 9, 5, 8, and I couldn't make 6 and 7 work. So, it is either not a 2, or it's not a pair of 5s. So, let's subtract 2 and add 7. So, that is 8 remaining. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Bottom can't be 1, 2, or 3. So the top isn't 5, 6, or 7. 5 takes out 5 and 3. So this is still an option. we'd have 1, 2, or 3 here. Well, it wouldn't be 1 or 3, so it would have to be a 2, which would be a 1 and a 7. So that's an option if I put a 7 here. 1, 2, 7. That was a pair of 5s and a 7. So now we do the final option, which was a 7 and a pair of 8s. 3 plus 7 plus 9 plus 4 plus 3 plus 8 and 8 is 42. Well, I can't make 2 in 2 different cells. So this was the only option. 1, a 2, a 7, a pair of 5s, and a set of 8s. A 7 and a 2. A 9 and a 1. 4 and a 9. 4 is going to be next to 5, not 8. 3. A 4 or a 6. 6 is on this side because of this down here. Uh-oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I broke something.
Uh-oh.
That's 18. That's 44. That's 14. 7, 7, 2, 2. 8, 8, 5, 5, 6, 6, 3, 3, 7, 7. 4, 4, 6, 6, 5, 5, 9, and 9. So all my palindromes are working. Those are consecutive, those are consecutive. 4 doubles to 8 is consecutive 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All of my sums are good. But this definitely sees 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. But what?
No. Rewind until it's happy.
I'm not sure where to rewind to.
Until the check mark is happy. That's what Laura was suggesting.
Yeah. Alright, let's back up to right here, because that was where I made the biggest thing. Okay. So if I do 1, 2, 7, 7, and a pair of 5s, 2, pair of 8s, an 8, and no 8, it's upset with that. We know that those two are the same.
What if it's a pair of 8s and a 2? Those last two would sum to 7.
I definitely didn't check a pair of 8s and a 2. Because I just did 2 and a pair of 5s. That didn't work. And then I did 7 and a pair of 5s. That worked. But a pair of 8s and a 7.
Didn't work with 7. You didn't look at 2.
Yep.
Okay.
So a 2 and a pair of 8s. So that is 16,
7
17,
left over.
18. Just gonna do this. 2,
Sorry.
3, 9, 4, 3, 8, and 8. And 7, like you said. I just wanted to confirm that. 3, 4, 5, 6. Bottom, not 1, 2, or 3. Top, not 4, 5, or 6. This would be 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 3 is gone. That's even. This is odd, so it's not a 2, so this isn't a 5. Five, 8, 5, 8, 5, 8, so that's not to look at. 1, 2, 6, 3, 4, and 2 still, so that's a 2 either way. And it was a 2 the other direction as well, with 1, 2, and 7. Okay. So that's where we would be. What's the rest of this box? 5, 8, 2, and 9 are all gone. 7, 3, and 6, 6. One, 4, 6, 7, 9. Not helpful. 1, 3, 4, and 9. Not helpful. Okay, well, what about these 3? 8, 6, 9, 5, 2, and 7. And then the 1, 3 means this is a 4.
1, 3 pair in column 9.
Gives us a 7, making this a 6. 6 can't make, makes this a 1. 4 and 3. Counts the 4. This one's a 9, a 1 and 9. Okay. And then this was a pair of 8s and a 2. Four pairs of 5. 8 goes here, and 8 goes there. 5 goes here. And now we don't break everything. 6, 7, 8, 2, 9, and 5. There we go. I saw the set equivalence theory, but then I couldn't do all of the options in a different set. I feel like I have a headache. Do I do one more puzzle?
I'm not sure I would call those awesome solves. I would call them solves.
They were definitely solves. But you know, I've been working on taking the compliments when I get them. It's definitely one of those those things where I don't know, our brain does like I don't know, our brains do really weird things, and it's what is it exactly I'm trying to say? The I guess it's just imposter syndrome stuff about trying to reject those types of things. I don't know. But
I don't know. I always thought it was weird that I could trick my brain into falling asleep.
Brains do very odd things.
Given that
yeah.
it's my brain that decided, oh, well, let's do this, and that way my brain won't know that it needs to fall asleep. And it will.
Exactly. Laura Smith says, maybe a 1 or 2 star, give yourself a bit of a break. I'm going to take 1 star for myself, and Mom gets the other star. All right. All right, we have time for at least one more. Let's do one more puzzle. I've got a few pulled up. So this one is not a chip sounder puzzle. This one is Hariyama by Just a Little Guy and Chef of Death. Normal Sudoku rules apply. Region sum. Box borders divide lines into segments with equal sums. Different lines may have different sums. And killer cages. Digits in a cage do not repeat and sum to the given total. Cages marked with an A sum to the same total. Let's get started on this one. I will get the link into the chat if I can. Well, maybe I'm going to have to just do it in parts. This one. Also get it put in my notes. Huh. Why this
Well, we
is
know
being
29
weird.
cage in box 1 has to be 5, 7, 8, 9.
There we go. Link in the chat if you'd like to give it a go. Mom said 5, 7, 8, 9. And then Laura Smith said A is max 10 at first glance. Max 10?
Box 1 is left with 16. And the 2 blue lines are the same.
Yeah.
So that's even.
2, 4, 6, 8.
Can't be 8.
Right. But then this is going to be 16 divided by 2 is 8. Subtract another 2, so 6, 4. Or that's it. It could not be a 2. So then you couldn't have a 6 here. Except that's not how math works.
No. Okay,
So
6. So 16 minus 2 is 14, so they either sum to 7.
Yeah. 5, 6, or 7. So
it can't
16,
be 5. Yeah, it can.
Yeah, so
it
16 divided by 2 is 8, but that would be half of this for 1, and the other 7, which is left over. Or it's 8 with a 4 divided into 2, and then the other 6 left over. Or again, half of the 6 is 3, and the rest is 5. Laura Smith says max of 17 for A, but that would break box 1. So 17 is out, which is an 8-9 pair. 16, which would be a 7-9 pair, is also out. So we get all the way up to 15. But it can be as small as 3. So we've got some thinking to do. Let's see, if this was a 5, that's a 6, and this would be 1 through 4. Okay. A 6 pairs with a 4, but I'd have to have 2 and 4. So 6 and 4 does not work. 7 and 2, but 7 has 3 options, and the 2 and the 5 is already removed. So these are our options. Seven and 1, 3 makes 11. Well, I can't put another 5 with a 5. So this is either 1, 3 or 2, 4. Yeah. Interesting, but I don't know if I can make any conclusions based on that. Laura Smith says 9, 10, and 11 in 3 would need a 1 or a 2. So does that mean that this line ends up being 12 or more? If I put a 7 here, then this is 1, 3. But I have 3 options for what this can be, which limits things. Laura Smith says, I don't know what it means because they don't need both of 1 or 2. We'll have to think more on that one. There's a 9 over here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 10 is 1 through 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
But we know the 10 can't be 4, 6. Because that would then be too many of 1 through 6.
And the 10 does need 1 from 1 through 4. Well, 1, 2, and 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the last one from the 10 would make 6. So 7, 8, 9. And since we know that it can't be 4 and 6 in the 10, it would be 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9. Which means the 5 has to go over here.
Yeah.
Which means 4 and 6 gets removed, and so does a 2.
And the 5 has to be in row 1.
Right. That immediately gives us a 4 here, because it was removed from everything else. So 4
Okay.
gets removed from this side.
So that's either 1, 4 or 3, 4. And if it's 5, then that's 2, 3. Yeah.
Or 1,
And 1,
6.
6.
One,
So
3,
2 is in
4,
column
5.
1.
This has to be 2, 8. Oh, because
Okay.
this was the only place where 6 could go.
Oh, right.
And 6 pairs with 5, because half of 6 is 3, and 5 makes 8. And now this is 2 and 4.
And column 1.
6.
2 and 3 come out also.
Right. This has to be 1 and 9, because 2, 3, and my partner with 6, 4
Right.
is also removed. So 1 gets taken out.
And 1 gets taken out of the blue line in box 4. So that's not
Right.
1, 4, it's 2, 3.
And then 4 and 5 is minimum 9, so this gets a 1. So we get this situated all around
And
this way.
that 2, 8 in row 1 takes the 8s out of the 7.
What's left over in this column? 1, 2, 5, and 4. The maximum here would be 8, 9. So 17.
So
Well,
you can't
it
use a
can't
9
be.
at all. Because
Yeah.
3, 6 is 9 and 9 is 18. You can't.
3, 6, and 7 is. Well, it's going to have to be 3, 6. And either 7 or 8. Because that's going to make this a 9
Right.
with either 7 or 8. And since the 9 has to be here, then that's not a 9, so this is. Well, a 9 and a 9 are going to force a 9 on here. 4 and 5, 2 and 3, 1 and 7. But we have 9.
You can't have 8 with the 9.
Right.
But you can do 1 and 7 if it's.
It's going to have to be 1 with 6 or 1 with 7.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. These two are what, 6, 7?
6 and 7.
No.
Oh, no, 7 and 8.
8. I don't know how I missed the 6 that I got, like, first digit in the puzzle. But I think it was actually this one that was the first digit in the puzzle. No, wait, no, it wasn't. It doesn't matter. Something was the first digit in the puzzle. What's left over in this box? It's 204.
Box 5 is left with 1, 3, and 6. And the top one can't be 3.
1,
1,
6,
6, 7,
7, 9, 8. Well, that means I have to have the 7 over here. So 6 is gone, because the 1 had to be placed in that group. So that's 9 and 8. So 7, 8, no. 9 and 8, 8 and 9. 9. 7's going to 4, 9, 2, and 8. These 2 aren't 6. Five, 6, 7, 8. Not quite enough. Hmm. 1, 4, 5, and 7. 1, 3, 5, and 7. Still have lots of options, though. Could these both be 5? Only if it was partnered with 4 or 6. I guess maybe 2. 2 or 6?
Well, the one in column 3 doesn't have a 4 in the bottom.
Yeah. Now, these 2 are minimum 10. Or I guess maybe I should be saying this line is minimum 10. Because this group here. Actually, can't have a 1 on it. So that bumps it up all the way to 14 already. Which is actually pretty restrictive. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, this one can't have 7 or 9 on it. And this one can't have 6 or 8. But I can still have 14 being 6, 8. And 5, 9. Which actually, this is maximum 14. And this is minimum 14. So then it is 14, 6, 8, and 5, 9.
Can't go to... No, it can't go to 15.
Yeah, because this was already maximum 14.
Right.
Because of the 7 and the 9 being removed. 1, 7, 9, 6, 8, and then these 2 aren't 2. 3, 2, 3, 4, 5. Highlights all of those. And 1's also gone, so 6, 7, 8, 9. This one, not a 7. Fives and 5s take out 5s. And now we just fill in as much as that gives us. 5, 7 pair. 6 and 4. 3. 5, 1, 4, 3. 8, 9 is gone. 8 is gone. 4, 3. 2, 8. Those aren't 5s. That's not a 3. 5, 7 pair takes 7. That's not a 3. 3 and 6 gives these as being something. 8, 3, 6, 4, 1, and 9. 5 is gone. This one can't be a 7 because of that. So that's 2, that's 7. This becomes a 6, 9, 7, a 7, not a 9. Neither are these two. 5, 7, and 8. So I'm going to take out the 8 right here. 2, 3, and 6 means this is fixed. 1, 2, 3, 6, 5, 7, 8, and then the 9 leaves 4. 2, 6, and, well, whatever's left over, it's this. It's an 8. Which is removed from those two.
The
These
A cannot be 11. It cannot be 9. Right, 5 and 2 is 7. 3 and 4.
2, 3.
Right, that's 11. 7 and 2 is 9. 7 and 6 is 13. It can be 13, or it can be.
It's going to have to be
It looks like
13
it's
then.
13.
Because you said 10 and 12 don't work, right?
Right.
Yeah. So then 9 here, 6 and 7, 2, 3, 2, 6, 3, 5, 7, 9, not 7s, 5, 5, 8, 7. These is a 3 of those two.
3, 6, and 8.
4. That was 9.
1, 9, and 8. 8.
7. There we go. All right.
Yay.
That was a speedy puzzle. Okay. I click the like button. Now we check Logic Masters Germany. Could have done setting everything up. Row 2. Very nice puzzle. Not that I've often marked any puzzle as anything other than very nice. And, spoilers for next time, I think I'm going to call it here. It was definitely on the easier side of things. We got through it pretty quickly. It was interesting what this row did. And then from that row, once we got this, then we got to look down this column. Although that's just interest and not difficulty. I don't know. Most people are saying easy. I think it's probably on the average side of easy. The easy is correct. There's definitely, I guess at least the solve path that I took, there was a lot of recognizing what is in the groups. Because like knowing that these had to be 7, 8, 9, and that you couldn't do 4, 6, so it was 7, 8, 9, and then the 5 gets placed in here, and how that limits this, and then that forced a 6 here. Yeah, so then that was the first digit in the puzzle, and that forced a 5. And then the options here. Actually, that didn't force the 6 there yet. How did that end up forcing the 6 again? I guess it doesn't really matter. Submit rating. Alright. My brain is definitely fuzzy, so that is going to be it where we call, where the, whatever the words are for ending. Alright. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, sleep well, and all of that fancy taking care of yourself stuff. After you do, or maybe before you do your fancy taking care of yourself stuff, do the fancy YouTube engagement stuff. Liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing the video, all of that stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna get some sleep. There's a notification bell you can ring. That'll help you see the other streams that I do, if you like video games. But aside from that, as I said, I'm gonna get a nap. So that is where I'm gonna call it. Goodbye.